Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. Right now, to me, championship teams are built in the offseason. It's what you do between now and when training camp starts that's more important than anything else. Because in the end, it's about having the talent that you need and a system together with that talent that propels you those 17 games to hopefully get to a Super Bowl. And that's the problem that we had last year. The Dallas Cowboys did some great things in the draft. Mind you, the Dallas Cowboys succeeded when they really shouldn't have. I believe they actually overachieved from the moves that they made. You can't honestly look at free agency, which is one of the devices that you use to supplement your team. The Cowboys don't supplement their team. They're hamstringing themselves because they get rid of talent and don't replace it. But I will say there is a bit of good news as we sit here with, a multitude of free agents, as we decide on guys like Dalton Schultz or Tony Pollard. Do we let them stay or let them go? Too many times in the past, we've seen the Cowboys go through and sign a player because they believe in their own guys to a long-term deal, and it ends up being that it just didn't work out. The other side of the equation is when you look at some teams that don't mind letting players go when they're still in their prime or using them to trade to get more players in return, you ultimately need to get guys that can play, that don't cost you as much money, so that way you can actually play in the free agency market. And so as we look back, one of the good things that at least may end up happening from what they did last year, and this is something relatively new in the NFL as far as team building, is the compensatory picks. You can look at 2020 where the Cowboys had so many extra picks. They maxed out on compensatory picks, which is 4. This year, we're set to get an additional 3. So, being that Randy Gregory, because Randy Gregory was a free agent, we didn't re-sign him. Instead of us paying him $75 million, we'll get a pick in the 4th round. Cedric Wilson and Connor Williams, both going because they were free agents, will end up being 2 additional 6th-round picks. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to find franchise players, generally speaking, in the 4th and 6th round, but Dak Prescott was actually a 4th-round pick. So with the Cowboys being a team that drafts well, having additional picks and a need for them is a good thing. So in some regards, as we look through here and we say, do we re-sign a Dalton Schultz, whose franchise tag number would end up being about $13 million, or his market value number of about $15 million, or do we let Dalton Schultz hit the free agent market and maybe get a 4th round pick in return? So these are the games that you're going to be playing now throughout free agency. The Cowboys have a lot of players, and not all of them are going to net big contracts. The way it works is if you lose a free agent, it goes by the value of the contract they sign versus who you signed by, I can't remember the date. I think it's in April. If you sign a like number cost, then it's a wash. But if you end up letting those guys go, and this may be part of the psyche of the Cowboys, we don't want to sign big free agents early because we'll lose compensatory picks. That's a strategy. I'm not sure if that's one that you want to believe in. If you honestly believe that the draft is the only way you're going to be able to build a team, then that's the philosophy that you have, and it seems like that's the philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys. So as we look at guys like Cooper Rush is going to have a market value. Cooper Rush will probably sign a decent deal with somebody. As you look around the NFL, as you look around the NFL and see what the San Francisco 49ers went through 4 quarterbacks. When you look at teams like the Jets that are still trying to figure it out, but feel they have a decent team. When you look at teams like the Commanders and teams like the Panthers, there aren't many options out there. Yes, there's going to be maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, there'll be Derek Carr. Yes, there'll be Carson Wentz. But honestly, do you want to spend that kind of money for that guy? Or do you look at it and say, let's get a Cooper Rush on a decent salary, much like Andy Dalton, and roll the dice till something better comes along? And so we may be in a position that from all these free agents, and that just depends on who we re-sign, that Zeke Elliott, if he's, forget Zeke, he's under contract. If you end up, Kellen Moore is just like blowing my mind here. I can't even think anymore because of everything that Cowboys are doing. But if you let Cooper Rush go, if you let a Dalton Schultz go, if you let a Leighton Vander Esch go, and I'm not suggesting that we let any of these players go, but if you do, these guys will probably sign a decent contract that may get you a compensatory pick. You can have a maximum of 4. The Cowboys this year, we have 3, and only 2 teams have more than us. That would be the Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers, check this out, they get 2 3s because McDaniels, minority candidate, ended up becoming a head coach. So they get 2 third-round compensatory picks, 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 7th. So there you go. That's how it all works. Other than that, I guess that's all we've got right here. What we're going to start doing going forward now is with our list of free agents, and it is a long list of Dallas Cowboys free agents. Start trying to figure out who should stay, who should go, and is there a possibility of compensation for them? And it's a long list. It is a long list. Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz, Cooper Rush, Jason Peters, Connor McGovern, T.Y. Hilton, Noah Brown, Donovan Wilson, Leighton Vander Esch, Anthony Brown, Dante Fowler, Anthony Barr, Jonathan Hankins, Carlos Watkins, C.J. Godwin, Brett Maher, Jake McQuaid, Matt Overton. So, and of course, restricted Terrence Steele and Rico Dowdle. So the Cowboys have potential to make up a maximum of 4 compensatory picks with the free agents that we have. So that's what we got. So we're going to start digging in with who should stay and who should go and what it should cost them. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is